You want to increase your confidence. I'll tell you what I think. What you do if you want to increase your confidence is you do jiu-jitsu. You work out, you get stronger. You read and you study and you learn and you get smarter. And then you stand up straight with your head high and your chin up and your chest out. And at the same time, you also stay humble. Because you don't know everything. And there are people that are better than you are at some things. People that are smarter than you, and they're stronger than you, and faster and more athletic than you, and they have more money, and they got better looks, and they're funnier. But all that is okay. There are things that are more important. More important than being strong and smart and athletic. More important than all those things. Things like loyalty, honor, will. Things like courage. The courage to stand and the will to keep going. And to do the right things for the right reasons. And if you know you won't give up, and you know you won't give in, and if you test yourself and you fail, but you know you're going to get back up again, if you know that, then you know that your character is strong, and that's what matters. We are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful of what we pretend to be. There's a little quote from Kurt Vonnegut. But this quote that he gave, which is, we are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful of what we pretend to be. It reminds me of this idea that we've been talking about for the last two podcasts, but we've been talking about this idea of the game. And there's multiple games. You can't pretend to be brave. Because if you're scared and you're like, well, I'm really scared, but I'm going to pretend to be brave. Well, and then you go and do brave stuff. Well, you're not just pretending, you're actually brave. But so that's kind of along the same lines somewhat as be careful what you're pretending to be, because that's what you are. And that's reminded me of what we've been talking about. You have to be careful of what game or what games you play, because you can quite possibly become those games. We are talking about the games we are playing, the subordinate games that make up various aspects of life, and then ultimately the game of life itself. And just to say this, and we kind of talked about this on the last one, recognition of the game is a huge part of the battle. Just recognizing that there's a game going on is a huge part of the battle. It's like when people are alcoholics, and sort of the beginning of solving the problem is admitting, oh, I'm an alcoholic. That's what they say. Or realizing that you've been hustled in pool, right?
Sure.
Like if you don't know that you're getting hustled, they're playing a game with you. You'll literally stop getting hustled as soon as you recognize what's happening. More importantly, the game that you play can become your life. So, observation. If your win involves the participation of other people, make sure you are not setting yourself up for disappointment by setting unrealistic expectations for others. Because if you set other people with a bunch of high expectations, you're counting on them, there's a decent chance you're going to get let down. a pitfall in any game that you play is you can lose. So when you get on the field or you engage in a game, there's a chance you're going to lose. So what that means is you have to be careful with what you invest into that game. And you have to hedge your bets, and you have to have contingency plans. Now, what's interesting about this is like the whole idea of like 100% commitment, which is sort of a, like, do you hear this about SEAL training? Like you have to have no backup plan. That's kind of a positive thing. Like I have no backup plan. Oh, I'm going to start a business and I'm putting everything, every penny I have into it. And if it fails, I'm just done. I'm going to be in the streets, right? And therefore I'm going to go extra hard to make it work. If you have to do that to yourself psychologically, okay. If you don't have to do that to yourself psychologically, and you can set yourself up to have a backup plan, if through your primary plan, like SEAL training, there's a decent chance that you're not going to make it through it because you got hurt, because you got injured, because you got sick, because you thought you were tougher than you are and you quit. All those things happen. They happen to 80% of the people that go there. So having a backup plan, as long as you don't use that as your out. Now look, if you're going to use that as your out, yeah, it's going to let you down. If you're going to work hard in your business, but at the end of the day, you're like, you know what? I can still just go back to my old job and I still have my house. So I'm just going to go back to my old job and go move back and just continue on. As opposed to being like, no, I'm going to gut through it because I have nowhere else to go. You can see the dichotomy there.
Yeah.
I would hope that you have the internal fortitude to push on and not just hit the escape hatch when it comes up, right?